Boop! Hello everyone, and welcome back to Armored Core. Couldn't record anything over the summer. I mean, I was able to record one thing, but that thing was also recorded on the same day that someone robbed my car. So, that recording didn't get finished, to say the least. But, yeah, I haven't really had a chance to record anything over the summer, because having a brother in my room playing games all day makes it a little bit hard to record. But, and also I'm really bad at like asking people to stop doing stuff so I can do other things. So whatever. But now I can record things again, and I'll also probably be recording on a slightly different schedule than I was pretty much for the majority of the spring and of last year, because I have a different schedule this year. I actually have more classes. So yeah, there's all that. But anyway, on to the main topic of the video. The main topic of the video today is going to be shields and why they are beautiful, and I hate them, but they're also still beautiful. So, right here, this AC is just kind of like a generic heavy I threw together in a few minutes, just to show off how useful shields can be. And the primary thing about shields is that they let you build in a certain way. So if we look at the defensive numbers of this AC, once that's out of the way, but if we look at the defensive numbers of this AC, you can see the CE defense is really high, the TE defense is pretty high, and the KE defense is kind of average for a heavy bipedal. It's kind of like on the low end of average. And the beautiful thing about shields is that, say, let's go over to the arm units and we go to shields. Shields have way higher defenses than you can possibly ever achieve. So, for example, this shield in particular has 5,500 KE defense, which is really high. And the unique thing about shields is that because they have their own AP, if a shield takes a hit, you don't take any damage whatsoever. So someone could be shooting at you with like a giant sniper cannon or a large missile or something like that, and you will take no damage. Well, you might still be stunned by like very heavy hitting weapons, but you will take no damage for however many impacts the shield can take. And so basically, if you look at your AC and you're thinking, damn, I need some survivability, and 2 out of my 3 defenses are really good, then you just get a shield with a 3rd defense, really. Like, that's the easiest way to do it. Now, the only problem is that some shields are more effective than others. The most effective shield out of the three types of shield is the KE shield, because most weapons, or most of the hard to dodge weapons, are KE type. So sniper rifles, Gatling guns, shotguns, mostly sniper rifles, and KE based missiles are the things that you want these shields for. And the main reason that they're good is basically because they let you stall out someone who's using sniper rifles. Because otherwise, if someone has a sniper rifle and you don't have a shield to block their snipers, then they can just play around with you all fucking day unless you can catch up to them and kill them. If you can't catch up to them and kill them, then, well, the shield is gonna be the best thing that will protect you against a sniper. And so, if you do have a KE shield against a sniper, then because of the way the defenses work in this game, their sniper shots are gonna bounce off your shield and do almost nothing to it. So you can just block with your shield all day. This is the main reason why, if you're a sniper, you almost always need to carry something that isn't a sniper, usually a heat machine gun or a pulse machine gun of some sort, to break shields. And the heat machine gun is the most popular type of weapon to break shields, primarily because the CE shields are the least popular. But I'll get onto that in a little bit. There's 3 KE shields. This one right here, the SHA-207, are the most popular. The 109 and the 302 are a little bit different, not as popular. They kind of work, but the 207 basically just does the same job as the other 2, but better. There's a few specific scenarios where the 302 is slightly better than the 207, but they're very rare, and most of the time the 207 does well enough that you don't really need the slightly increased health for the 302. The 109 is slightly lighter if you, for whatever reason, can't afford the weight on your AC, but shields as a whole are fairly light weapons. So, yeah. The 302 is also the heaviest. Now for the CE shields, there's only 2 CE shields as opposed to 3 KE shields. We have the generic one and then the one that's has really high health and really high defenses. Excuse me. And so, as you can see, the CE shield doesn't have quite the same 5,500 defense as the KE shield, but it does have very, very high health at almost 9,000 or 8,500. And so the high health combined with the high CE defense, or basically the main reason why this shield is useful, because it has like okay-ish KE defense almost, Same for the first generation version of it, the EO2. But yeah, especially both of these. Both of the CE shields have very high health compared to the other types of shields. So if you just want like something that'll keep you alive for a few seconds while you run in and charge, then a CE shield can do that. KE shield can do that too, but CE shield will do it. A CE shield will do it slightly better than a KE or TE shield. Basically, just because they have a lot of bulk. They're also very heavy compared to other shields, but then again, shields as a whole are very light, so it's not that big of a deal anyway. If you were to, another thing that CE shields are good for is that they can block CE-based weapons very effectively. Not CE-based weapons, but CE-based melee weapons very effectively. If someone runs at you and smashes a pile into your face, but they hit a shield instead, they're gonna do. There's a pretty decent chance that they won't be able to break the shield in one hit, despite the pile's massive 60,000 attack power for your shield. So if you have very high CE defense and a lot of health, there is a chance that you will block the pile hit completely. But at the very least, it will block at least one hit, and you won't take any damage from it because the shield will absorb the full hit. That's the nice thing about shields, is because if your shield only has 1 health left, and you take a shot to the shield, your shield will still absorb the full damage of whatever that shot did. Now, after the shield is depleted, you throw it away because it's no longer useful, but it's still, it can save you in so many scenarios. Shields are very, very good in this game. When the game first came out, like, everyone looked at shields like, what the fuck are these? Why are these in our game? And then someone started equipping them, and then that guy who had equipped them was wrecking the shit of everyone else, and we all realized that shields are really good. Now for the TE shields, there's 2 of them again. For these, the main reason you want TE shields is to deal with laser rifles, and this one is the only one that can deal with laser rifles effectively. This one has more health and all that, so it's lighter and all that, so it still kind of works, but laser rifles are the main threat you want to be dealing with TE shields, because laser rifles are kind of similar to sniper rifles in that if you have a TE shield against someone's laser rifle, they're not going to do shit against you. They're going to have to switch to some other sort of weapon or try to do something else to get your shield off, because they won't be able to get through it with a sniper or with a laser rifle very easily. I mean, and the CE shields are kind of similar in that like CE weapons do nothing to them, but the person who runs only CE weapons is a lot rarer than the person who only runs KE weapons or who only runs TE weapons, because KE weapons are very accurate and TE weapons do a lot more damage than usual. CE weapons hit really hard, but they're not very accurate, so you kind of usually need to pair them up with some sort of KE or TE weapon to make up for their lack of accuracy. Now, with the TE shields are a lot more popular on tetrapods and heavy reverse joints, although usually more so on tetrapods. You do see them sometimes on lightweights. You don't see them at all on heavyweights for obvious reasons. The heavyweights already have really high TE defense naturally, so they don't need this TE shield. But you can still use them on pretty much any AC. It's just they're the most popular on quads. And the main reason that they're popular on quads is that quads usually have very high KE and TE defense, and they're weak to TE. And because quads float way up in the air a lot of the times, the only way to really hit a quad effectively is to use a laser rifle. And since TE shields deal so effectively with laser rifles, they're quite popular on quads. KE shields are also popular too because sniper rifles are the other effective way to deal with quads. So quads are basically one of the main users of shields because of the way they play, shields are very, very effective when used on quads. Shields are generally quite effective on most things, but they're the most effective on quads. Now, the reason I built this example AC is because, like I said, it has very high CE and TE defense, but kind of average or lowish KE defense. And the rest of its stats are pretty average. It has high AP, I think. Yeah, 38,000 is okay. But it's basically kind of like a generic build that someone might make. And I put 4 weapons on here because I wanted to kind of go through the weapons and then kind of talk about which weapons are the easiest to replace with shields, or what kind of weapon sets work well with shields. And so we have a missile, we got a Gatling gun, a heat machine gun, big laser rifle, and a heat howitzer. Now, out of those 5 weapons, the one that kind of sticks out the most is the heat howitzer, and probably the one that would be replaced if this was like a legitimate build. But say I was using, like, I don't even know. Say I was using a pulse machine gun, which is actually like a very useful weapon to have on this kind of music. So say I was using a pulse machine gun, a heat machine gun, a laser rifle, and a Gatling gun. Which of those 4 weapons would you have to replace? And at that point, it kind of depends on the playstyle you want to go for and the types of enemies you want to fight. If you're going to be going after heavies, then the the pulse machine gun is going to be not very useful against heavies, because heavies in general have enough TE defense to deal with this, or they have shields of some sort. So quads usually build some sort of TE defense to deal with this, or they bring a TE shield. And the laser rifle over here just does so much damage it kind of doesn't care about shields. Or it doesn't care about TE defense usually anyway. This one will also be quite good for that effect. I'll throw that on. That's pretty good. But yeah. So the pulse machine gun is probably one of the weapons that would be replaced. A heat machine gun could also arguably be replaced if you don't want to deal with lightweights. If you're gonna have someone else on your team who's gonna deal with lightweights, heat machine guns traditionally deal with lightweights and other shields. So that's a good reason to. That's a good reason to have it, but if that reason isn't valid for you, then you don't really need it. You obviously can't replace the shoulder with a shield, so that doesn't work. Imagine if you could, that'd be hilarious. Just have shields sticking out of your shoulders of your AC. But the Gatling gun is a really good, solid DPS weapon against most enemies. So this is one thing that you could get rid of, but I don't know. But like I said, the primary thing that would probably get replaced because it's the most specialized weapon on this AC is probably the pulse machine gun. So if I were to switch that out for a KE shield, because the KE defense of this AC is quite low, if I were to run into an enemy sniper, I could easily just start approaching them and hitting them. Although I might have to switch the weapons around a little bit. We'll switch the Gatling gun for a heat machine gun, and then switch the heat machine gun for a Gatling gun, just because of the way that everything's arranged. There. Alright. So, the reason why I put the Gatling gun on the same side as the shield is because the Gatling gun is the weapon on this AC that's kind of like the most universal out of the 3 weapons that are on the AC currently. And also, I want to be able to pair the shield with the heat machine gun and the laser rifle, because the laser rifle is going to be effective for killing things that are away from the air, and the heat machine gun is going to be effective for breaking enemy shields. So if I have a shield up and I'm breaking enemy shields, making a lot more progress than if I have my shield up and I can't really do anything to the enemy shield. Because like I said, CE shields are the least common type of shield because they're not as useful in general, although they are still used sometimes. So you want something that can break KE and TE shields, which is a heat machine gun in general. So yeah, shields, they're amazing, and this is like a kind of like very basic example build that I built that kind of benefits more from having a shield than from not. If we were to talk about like lightweight, if we were to talk about the other use for shields, because basically there's 2 ways to use a shield. You can play defensively to wall your opponent, and only pull out the shield when your opponent is using whatever type of weapon your shield, not KE shield, but whatever type of weapon your shield is resistant to, and that way you can just wall your opponent and force them to switch weapons or attack someone else. Or there's the suicide shield, which is basically just designed to give you more bulk. So, example of this, let's build a lightweight. Let's build a piling AC. Let's build a blade AC. This is one of the reasons why I don't like shields, but it is a very good reason to have a shield. So, whatever. I'm just gonna build it in the silliest way I can think. Doop-a-doo. You know, you play too much Armored Core when you can just throw builds together like this. Okay, there's a pile. Take off that for ammo. Let's give it another pile. And then another shield. Alright, so then, we now have thrown together, oh wait, let's switch this around. Alright, so, we have now thrown together a random piling AC, which uses shields. And the reason why shields are useful with piles, outside of looking absolutely deliciously awesome in the animations, which I'll show you right now because they're fucking beautiful. But the main reason why shields are good when using melee weapons is because as a melee user, you're usually going to be lightweight so that you can be fast enough to actually catch up to someone using a melee weapon. And being lightweight means that you usually don't have much health. And if you don't have a lot of health, there's a good chance that someone can just shoot you down while you're trying to kill someone. So, for that reason, you usually want to have shields. And shields are beautiful. No, not that kind. But Shields are amazing because you can run up to someone with a shield, and the shield will protect you long enough to get your punch in. And if you get your one good hit in with one of these, you're probably going to kill them. And the reason I went for the KE and TE shield is because they're the more useful kinds. Like I said, the CE shield is not the most useful. It's good in certain scenarios, but only in certain scenarios. And most of the time, even when it is good, it's not going to be particularly useful. And so here we got the TE and the CE shield, or the KE shield. The KE shield is going to deal with rifles, sniper rifles, Gatling guns, all that kind of stuff. And the CE shield is going to deal with the pulse machine guns, laser rifles, even like plasma missiles that lightweights are usually quite scared of. And so if you're using a TE shield, then you primarily want to focus on... You want to find the dude who is either going to be least suspecting, because the TE shield has more health than the KE shield. So the TE shield is better if you don't have... Or say someone's using a heat machine gun on you, then the TE shield will deal with it a little bit better than the KE shield will. So you can kind of use that to stall for a few seconds to get your good hit in. And so that's where it's important to have a slightly stronger shield. But I wouldn't recommend having, you know, like 3 shields to cover all 3 types, because it just doesn't work. The main reason it doesn't work is not because you don't get to, because you can't make like a 4-foot weapon strong, but say we throw on this CE shield here, so we got all 3 shields on. So if I want to use the KE shield, then I have to put away my only weapon, and that's where the issue comes in. Whereas if I want to use the CE or TE shields, I can use whatever. I kind of alternate them just for style's sake, but you can keep 2 shields on the same side. Like, for example, let's switch out this CE for a KE shield, and then switch this for another pile. Because we got 2 of them. Alright. So you can easily do that where you have 2 piles on one arm and then 2 shields on the other arm. Although the only problem then is that if both your shields break, you can't use both of your piles. So that's why I alternate them. So let's switch it back again. Let's put the KE shield over here, and then put the pile over here. So now, yeah, all right. Sorry, I got it right. So now, if both your, say I run out of ammo with both my piles, like I'm a terrible shot. I ran in, I charged in to attack someone, and I just missed every single time, all 8 times I think for these piles. So I just completely fucked it up. I didn't hit anyone. Well, I still have 2 shields. 2 shields will keep me alive long enough that I can be a distraction, and 2 shields will also keep me alive long enough that if I need to, I can go for like the charging melee tackle kick attack, the boost charge, and I can do that, and I can hit someone in the face with a kick. And if I get someone with a flying kick, there's a good chance that I can do some decent damage. So I can still be kind of useful. And you know, shields are just incredibly amazing. And then on the flip side of it, if my shields break because someone was shooting at me with the right type of weapon or whatever, and I couldn't switch my shields in time, or they just caught me by surprise or something like that, then well, if both my shields are broken, I still have 2 piles. I can still run in and try to suicide attack someone with piles. If I hit someone with a pile, they're going to take a lot of damage, if not dead. So that's the main reason why you want to have some sort of attacking option on both arms, because if you're using shields, the shields break and they're gone. You can't use them anymore. They're not like shields in old Armored Core games that just kind of stay around forever and help protect you. These, once they're gone, they're gone. Although while you do have them, they protect you very, very well. On the side note of protecting you very, very well, shields do very well against frontal attacks, like battle rifles, sniper rifles, laser rifles, machine gun or heat machine guns, Gatling guns, regular rifles, melee attacks from the front. All those shields deal very well against. If a tank is running at you and you're afraid of getting smashed in your face by the tank, the shield can block a tank kick, and it usually will, especially if they're from the front, not so much from the side or the back. It will also sometimes, like, partially or sometimes entirely block ultimate weapons. This is not confirmed in any way, so don't take this seriously, but ultimate weapons do seem to have a slightly harder time killing you if you have a shield up. So yeah, that's really weird, because there's been times where someone will charge at me with like a grind blade, for example, and then the grind blade will hit the shield, tear the shield off, and then not kill me. But it will still do damage to me, so I don't know how that works. Ultimate weapons, usually if they touch you, you're dead. But so yeah, there's a lot of weirdness going on there. But yeah, shields protect you from a lot of things. They're really good to have around no matter what weight class of AC you are, as long as you can deal with it by either having like a sort of like a crazy attack option like piles, which just murder everything, or if you're playing defensively like a heavyweight where you have like rifles and stuff that will let you play at long range and play around enemies' weapons. So then, excuse me, this was a slightly shorter video because I didn't really have to talk about builds quite as much. But I hope you enjoyed me talking about shields. I'll be doing more videos, especially these next few weeks while I figure out what my schedule is going to be for class later on. But yeah, I may also start streaming if I can figure that out, or if I can get a decent mic. So then, hope you have a good day. Blow the fuck out of everything, play Armored Core, and protect yourself from shields because they save you. They also infuriate your opponents. Have a good day.